I'm a star in my hood. I'm that nigga, I been busting them jugs. I can get a nigga knocked like I'm Shugs. He know he can't, but a nigga wish he could. I wish a fuck nigga would. I wish a fuck nigga would.
What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about... Oh, he farted. I'm going to be talking about my pregnancy, my labor, and mommy life. So if you want to know what my experience was during my pregnancy, my labor, and how mommy life is for me, then just keep on watching. Okay, first, before we start, your girl needs some lipstick. So I'm going to put some lipstick on. You know, you can never be too lousy. So this is Josiah. He is going to be 5 months on every 9th of every month. He was born January 9th, 2019 this year. He's a January baby. So I'm gonna tell you the beginning of my pregnancy, how I found out, who I told first, the drama that happened during that time. So let me give you a background story though. I met my baby's father. I met him my freshman year of high school, and we've been together since then. He was my high school sweetheart. Of course, we talked about having kids, but you know, not in high school or anything like that. But he was a surprise. He was a big surprise. Well, I was 3 months when I found out I was pregnant. And how I found out was, of course, I missed my period. I thought I had gotten my period, and I was so happy. I was like, yes, I got my period. And I was just thinking, and then it was just spotting. I only just bled a little bit, and then it stopped, and I was like, what the heck? What's going on? I had a strong feeling that I was pregnant, and so I went to his father's house, and I told him, hey, I really think I'm pregnant. And he was like, no, you can't be pregnant. And I was like, but I really do feel like I'm pregnant. Like, come on now, like, my period would not be missing for going on 3 months. And so we got some cheap strips. They were like really, really cheap strips. So that his mom had. And I used that strip and I peed on it. And there was a bold line and the other one was kind of faint. So I told him, no, this can't be. This must be the strips. So we went to go get another pregnancy test at Walgreens. Yeah, I believe it was Walgreens. I was about to say Walmart. But we went to Walgreens and we got that one, and I felt like it would be more accurate since it was a little bit more on the pricey side. So we took it and we waited, and it was a positive. So after that, you know, we just looked at each other, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. And he said the same thing, and he was all smiling and laughing like, I can't believe this. We're gonna have a baby. And then I started crying because I felt like I committed the most horrible sin ever, because, you know, we're not married or anything like that. But I got over that. And so then after, we were just holding each other, you know what I mean, thinking like, who are we gonna tell? Like, who am I gonna tell? Like, how am I gonna tell my mom? How am I gonna tell my dad? How am I gonna tell my family? What are they gonna think? And mind you, I am 20. I'm 20, but when I found out I was 19, and I turned 20 last year, 2018, in October. And I'm 20 years old. So I'm not in high school, I graduated, I mean, and I'm still worried about my parents finding out, and that's basically what happened. I was worried about my parents finding out, and I'm of age. But still, I was still scared. So I told my sister Jess, we were actually going to Walmart, and we were walking through the aisles, and I told her, you know, Jess, I need to tell you something. And she was like, what? You're pregnant? And I said, yeah, I'm pregnant. And then she said, are you serious? I said, yeah. And then I started bawling tears, being a little crybaby. And she was like, Chris, don't cry, because they call me Chris, my whole family. And I was like, Jess, like, I feel like I don't deserve this baby. You've been trying to have a baby for a very, very long time, and I'm over here pregnant, your little sister. And I just said I felt like I really didn't deserve a baby, and she did. There's a fly in here. But if you see it flying around, please ignore it. I've been trying to get it out of this room for like a long time. So, you know, she said, Chris, I'm going to help you. And she did. She helped me make my first doctor's appointment. But before I get to that, I had to tell my dad. Say hi, Josiah. I had to tell my dad that I was pregnant. Oh, okay. I had to tell my dad that I was pregnant. And I was really scared to do that because, you know, that's my dad. I'm his little girl. And I told him, I called him, and he was at the gym at the time. And right when I told him, he started crying, and he didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks because I guess he was disappointed because, you know, I had my whole life planned out. I was going to college. I had a good job. And then that happened, and he felt like, oh, it's going to ruin your life, but it didn't. I mean, I'm so blessed now to have him. He's my everything. Oh. Boy, slobber everywhere. He's burping. So, but then he got over, we started talking, and we, you know, worked on our relationship. So then I made my first doctor's appointment, and I went. And there's, like, when you go to your first doctor's appointment, you have to do a whole bunch of tests. So they did my blood test. They took my urine, and everything came back good. And during that time, there was something that the doctor seen inside my baby's heart. It was like I don't know exactly what it was called. But thankfully, I went to go get that checked to see, you know, if anything, he was going to come out sick or anything like that. And he didn't. So I'm really grateful and thankful for that because I was really stressed out about that. I was really, really, really stressed out because, you know, that's the last thing you want. You don't want your baby to come out sick. And I'm thankful that he didn't. Thank goodness. Thank God, actually. So then, fast forward, you know, going to ultrasounds are honestly like the best part of pregnancy. For me, it was like the best part of pregnancy. I loved seeing my baby. I loved hearing his heartbeat. And at the end of this video, I'm going to put clips in of pictures of my belly and my ultrasounds and some other videos of his heart and stuff. So don't click out of the video so fast so you can see everything. So what? So after that, you know, I didn't do a lot of walking, actually. I should have did a lot of walking because my labor was horrible, and I'll get to that, like I said. One thing you have to remember and know is that, you know, make sure, so you won't get stretch marks, make sure you take care of your you know, your skin and your belly. I put on a lotion, and I'll put it in the description, what lotion I use for my stomach, and it actually really, 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 really helped. And along pregnancy, when it gets closer, honestly, your stomach's gonna stretch, and you'll want to scratch it so bad. And I suggest that you don't scratch it. I mean, my family told me that if you scratch it, you get stretch marks. So I wouldn't scratch it. I didn't scratch mine, even though how badly I wanted to. Sometimes I'll just I felt like I was cheating, and I would just like gently just scratch it because it itched that bad. And one thing that did happen during my pregnancy, I got really bad heartburn. And my doctor said it was safe to take Tums, so I did take Tums. But I'd get heartburn with anything. In and out, anything I'd get really bad heartburn, and sometimes I couldn't even sleep because the heartburn was that bad. Fast forward to that, I had a really good pregnancy. I had some ups and downs during my experience, you know. I was a really big crybaby, and if you're watching this, just know that you're not alone, and you're not alone. If you don't have your partner in your life, if you're struggling, like, how are you going to do this? Like, you're thinking the worst. You feel like you don't deserve your baby. I'm going to tell you, you deserve this blessing. You know, God works in mysterious ways, and He comes into your life and brings you something that you think you can't handle, but you can. And everything's going to be okay. You're going to be a good mom, so don't worry so much. You got the best blessing ever, and enjoy it. Don't let nobody ruin it. Don't let the negative people come in and get to your head. You know what I mean? And if you feel like the whole weight is on your shoulders, something that I did when I was pregnant, I wrote in my journal, and I wrote down my prayers. I wrote down things that were bothering me, and it honestly took a big weight off of my shoulders. And I felt good. You know, I kept strong, and that's something that really helped me. He just woke up from a nap. So, labor. Let's get to labor. Okay, so now labor. And I was due January 9th. So I did have him the time I was supposed to be due. They called me for a bed. I was supposed to be induced, so that's why I was scheduled to be there. So I went on January 9th. I checked in and everything, and we were waiting for a room, so that took like 12 a.m. in the morning. And so we went. I was there. I put on the gown and everything, and they induced me, so they popped my water bag, my water what the baby was in, and so they popped it, and I was in pain. The first contraption I had, I was in serious pain. The first contraption, I started crying. I could not handle it. During the whole time, I was like, you know what, please just knock me out, give me drugs. I want to go home. I want to go to sleep. I was so tired. I didn't go to sleep. Mind you, like I said, I was there at 12 a.m. So I didn't go to sleep at all. So I had no rest at all. And then the contraption started coming, and so they told me, you know, wait until you feel like you need to go poop, and that's when you have to push. So I couldn't handle the pain, so I had them give me epidural. So I heard it's a really long needle, and they put it in your back. I didn't look at it. I was in so much pain, I didn't even feel the needle go in. And I went, so they put the needle in, and the epidural was, I had to lay flat on my back or whatever so the medicine couldn't go through or whatever like that. The epidural only worked on my right side of my body. My left side, it did not work. It would wear off. So I felt every contraption, and I kept telling them, you know, give me more because I'm still feeling the pain. It's not going away. And so they would give me more, and then finally the last time they said that they can't give it to me after that. And so I was like, okay, hopefully this time it works, and it didn't. So finally I felt like I needed to poop, and it took me like a couple hours to actually pop him out. So I was pushing and pushing, and he didn't want to come out. I kept sucking him back in to me. But I had my two sisters actually in there with me, and they were holding my legs, and then his father was like on the side of me. And I was pushing with my face. You're supposed to push with your stomach. And that's the time when I was still numb. I still had the epidural. I was pushing on my face. I was supposed to be pushing with my stomach, and so they had to turn off my epidural because I was not doing it right at all. So they turned it off, and I felt everything. I felt the contractions. It was the most horrible pain I've ever been through. So 1 to 10, well, actually 1 to 20, the pain is a 25. It is that bad. Labor is really, 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 really horrible. The reason why I was getting induced was because I'm really small, I'm really petite. So my doctor thought that the chances would be greater for me to have a natural birth if I got induced instead of just going with the C-section or just waiting till my water popped and then I have to do emergency C-section. So that's why I did that. And my mom actually, she was in the room, but she walked out because she just couldn't see me go through that. It hurt her to see me in so much pain, and it was a really horrifying experience. Right after I pushed him out, they put him on me, and they had to take him off so they can clean him up and all that. And I started hemorrhaging really bad. I actually lost a lot of blood. I would show some pictures, but I'd rather not, because I kind of looked really scary because I was just white as a ghost, whiter than I am now. It was really horrible. I was scared that, I would have died or something because my doctor was trying everything to get the blood to stop coming. And thank God that he did. And my sisters actually had a moment too in the emergency room where they were crying because they thought the worst. I mean, labor is no joke. Labor is very scary. So, I pray for anybody, and I don't wish it on my worst enemy that, that they get a bad labor, because it really is scary. But I'm blessed and thankful that he came in one piece, and I came out of that in one piece. So, after that, he finally stitched me up, and we moved to a different room, me and his father and the baby. They actually took him to go bathe him or whatever and get him all situated and stuff. And breastfeeding, I did that for a month. I honestly wasn't eating right, so I didn't continue breastfeeding. Because I felt like he wasn't getting the nutrients that my baby needed, so I did switch to formula. And he had some troubles with the formula. I had to switch to a different one because he was getting constipated. And mommy life is amazing. Mommy life is hard. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is really hard and difficult because sometimes it's hard to know what's wrong with him. Like, I had to start warming his milk to help ease his stomach because the formula was too heavy for his stomach, so he was cramping. But every day it's something different. Like, seeing him grow, and I'll put some pictures at the end of this video. Seeing him grow, and he's doing different things now. He's starting, well, like you've seen, he's starting to grab stuff. And he's such a happy baby. He's not a bad baby. He don't give me a hard time. And he shows so much love and affection to me. We sleep together. I know that's not good and that's bad, but he sleeps the best when he's sleeping with me. And I would be cautious if you put your baby in the bed with you, because there's a lot of things that could happen if the baby's sleeping with you. And I'm very careful with him being in the bed with me. and he's actually teething really early. He's barely gonna be 5 months and he's already teething. He just wants to put things in his mouth, my hands, this mirror, and if he doesn't get the satisfaction, he goes a little fit. Like right now, he's throwing a little fit. But other than that, he's a really good baby. It's really crazy what us women can do with our body, and you know what we go through when we're pregnant, because pregnancy is not easy. It puts a lot of stress on your body, and I'm just thankful that he came out healthy. My little baby. Say hello. Say hello. My little baby came out healthy, and he eats good. I'm feeding him formula and baby food, stage 1. So stage 1. And the healing process of when you have a baby, it's like a month. It takes a good month. I actually, I bled for a long time after that. And then right when I was supposed to stop, I started my period after, so I bled longer. And then I was just so like, man, my period came like right after I was supposed to stop bleeding. And so I was bleeding that whole period of time. That was the crazy part. I can't believe I started my period right after that. But mommy life is the best. I'm thankful for my little blessing that I have, and I'm so grateful, and I love him so much. I love him a lot. He's my partner in crime. He's my best friend, you know. And like, I had to go to the doctor's appointments sometimes by myself. I couldn't take him with me, and I miss him. Like, I can't be away from him. I don't even like leaving him, like, to go to the restroom with anybody. I know mommies, you need your you time. So take you time, okay? Take you time because you need it. Being a mom is stressful, and you need to take time for yourself. So remember that, to take you time. Okay, that is it for this video. Like I said, I'm going to put pictures up for you guys so you can see him and me and my belly and all that. So keep on watching, and thank you for clicking on this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye. Say bye, Josiah. You can't talk, but say bye. He don't want to look.